Let's talk about this CNET article you sent me about Rubio. The missed opportunity, as they say, after the State of the Union.
Right. So the other night, Florida Senator Paul Rubio, in his response to Obama's State of the Union address, paused in his speech and took a drink of Poland Spring water. Twitter went crazy, right? Twitter went nuts. And with that Poland Spring moment, and there were crickets from the Poland Spring side. So yeah, with the article that I sent you, I think it was a huge missed opportunity for Poland Spring to engage, much the way that Oreo did after the blackout at the Super Bowl.
I think the Oreo thing, let's go take a look at that. It raised expectations probably unfairly. It was an amazing success. I mean, it was definitely an anomaly.
Yeah.
Let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the big data. Look at this spike. I mean, this is amazing what they did, and it was genius for sure.
Yeah, and actually I saw a few stories about that, just that they had essentially a situation room set up that allowed them to act in real time.
It's a different thing. They were investing. They had an awesome Super Bowl commercial that ran, and here's the thing for Poland Springs. Look, who could have anticipated that? There wasn't a planned media buy, a multi-million-dollar planned media buy, right? And who could have anticipated that would happen? I mean, unless the Rubio people gave him a brief that he was a little parched and they were going to be drinking Poland Spring, okay?
But that said, I mean, to me, I don't think it's unrealistic to think that a brand would have some response. I mean, in fact, it's kind of my philosophy about content in general, that you should really think about it as an opportunity, that brands need to embrace it as an opportunity and always be on the lookout. It's what I talk about. It's what brand journalism really means. It means capitalizing on those moments when they happen. And you can't always plan them, but you've got to have a response team in place that you can call on when you stumble into something like that. Okay. So that's how I feel.
I'm on the same page with you there. I just think, but a real time, like while the speech was still going on, I think that's a little. That's tough.
Right, but to wait as long as they did, it just seemed that somebody could have jumped on a social channel and chimed in some way. Should have had the ability to have a team in place that they could have at least touched base with. I think it's incumbent on every brand to think about that. What would we do in a situation where you've got something like that serendipitous happens, and how can we capitalize on that? Otherwise, I think, as a brand, you end up looking like a dinosaur. You end up.
Okay, I will grant you that, just because I don't want to argue with you. And by that, I mean I don't want to lose. Okay, I just can't take it. We're losing this week. All right, you understand? But in working in big brands, it's just there are a lot of people who rightfully so are very protective of the brand.
Yeah.
And we've seen so many disasters in 2012. For mistakes for all kinds of different reasons. Usually they were just mistakes. KitchenAid, for example. People see that PR disaster that occurred just from one tweet. So that's why I'm saying people are cautious. I was working on an animation that was going to go live, I think, like right after the Super Bowl, the day after. Mm-hmm. And we had scenes from around the world, and we had something in the Middle East, and we had a joke in there about a tourist being there riding a camel. Mm-hmm. And I had a silhouette of a camel in there and a tourist on the camel. And I saw the story about Coke, let me find this, Coca-Cola, getting some trouble from a group that had somebody riding a camel racing. You get that?
Actually, yeah.
Okay, this probably...
It's my daughter, so hold on.
Please hold.
Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. No. Sure. All right. Have fun. Love you too. Bye. That was just a message from our sponsor.
Hang on just a minute. I'm just getting something in. Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is a note on Google Hangout etiquette. Okay, step one. Do not take phone calls from other people who are not in the Hangout with you, including members from the nuclear family. So. Right.
And also, yeah, it appears that my assistant is going over Abby's for the afternoon, just so you know. Well, she's worked hard all week, so.
What I was saying before you took a phone call, I think, and I ended up talking to myself for a while. That's fine. That's fine. We just have a call waiting on it. Can we do that? I went back when I saw this article that I just showed about the response to Coke. I went back and changed that image. It's fine to leave the line in there, but we got to change the image and be very clear that this person in Egypt is in contemporary dress and he's on a cell phone. And
Right.
I'll keep in mind David Barry's quote.
Yeah.
You know the quote I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. Right. No matter what happens.
Someone will find a way to take it too seriously. I think there are two things. One, your point that people need to be ready.
Yeah.
Brands, they need to be ready for these things, and just put a team together or the guidelines together so you can respond quickly and build those relationships with legal and the other people. But then I think the other thing that's just as important is that set everybody's expectations in the organization that somebody will take this too seriously.
Yes.
You will get negative feedback. It's the internet. You're going to have somebody anonymously griping or complaining about something, and so you just got to make that decision. Is it worth taking the risk to try to pull off something that Oreo did,
right,
or just not doing anything?
Right, exactly. And just, back to your first point there, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. And sometimes that response may be, you know what, we're not going to do anything, and that's okay. But I think it's important to at least have the ability to make that decision. That's really what we're talking about here.
Have a conversation. All right. Well, that is it. We'll let you go. I know you have another phone call probably coming in here in about a minute now.
Right, because I have another child, so.
So, do you actually tell your entire family to schedule their calls during the hangout? Is that what happens here?
Listen, I'm going to be recording between 2 and 2:30, so anytime in there would be a great time to call.
Okay. Hang on, we got Aunt Mildred on line 2 for you, please. Take that. So, all right, thank you very much.
All right.
Good talking to you. All right.